in the DOD. Everything you've said in these public statements is politics. I don't want women. I don't want moms. What's wrong with a mom, by the way? Once you have babies, you therefore are no longer able to be lethal. I mean, you're basically saying women after they have children can't ever serve in the military in a combat role. It's a silly thing to say. It's a silly thing to say beneath the position that you are aspiring to. To denigrate LGBTQ service members is a mistake. If you are a sharpshooter, you're as lethal regardless of what your gender identity is, regardless of who you love. So please know this to be a true statement. So you say it was a political thing. You say it undermined us, social engineering. I don't know why someone having to publicly say or not publicly say who they love is social engineering.
Hi everyone, this is Lad Dilgard. Welcome to another episode of Stand and Speak. Reminder, you can find us on YouTube at Stand and Speak or on X at Lad Dilgard. That was Senator Kirsten Gillibrand from New York in the Pete Hegseth nomination hearing for the Trump cabinet members this week. And showing that she's got a little bit of pride. She can dance in a bar. Screech and harass the young, good-looking white male who is nominated to become our next defense secretary. So I wanted to talk about the nomination hearings. This week we had Lee Zeldin, Doug Burgum, Marco Rubio, Kristi Noem, Hegseth, Pam Bondi, and Scott Bessent, the Secretary of Treasury. Those hearings. The biggest fireworks seem to be in Hegseth and Bondi's hearings, and we're going to go over a few of those right now. But my take on these is that it shows that the decorum and the civility of the Democrats in the Senate have gone way downhill over the years, and there is no shortage of examples to display this. Here's Mazie Hirono, Democrat from Hawaii, asking Pete Hegseth, while she's slurring her words, whether he's ever been drunk on the job. Here we go.
Enforcing the Uniform Code of Military Justice, UCMJ, in addition to the sexual assault allegations, and by the way, the answer to my second question should have been yes. I have read multiple reports of your regularly being drunk at work, including by people who worked with you at Fox News. Do you know that being drunk at work is prohibited for service members under the UCMJ?
Senator, those
yes
are
or no?
Multiple false anonymous reports peddled by NBC
Do you
News
know that
run directly contradictory to the dozens of men and women at Fox News Channel who I work with who came on the record and said they
in your
never
opening statement, Mr. Hegseth, you commit to holding leaders accountable at all levels. That includes you, of course.
Yeah, there you have it. So as Senator Markwayne Mullins pointed out later, there's a lot of senators who have been drunk a lot, including for votes, and it's kind of hilarious to have somebody call out anyone for drinking. Here's the next one. Here's, of all the things that we are worried about from the Department of Defense perspective, Hirono dials in on, will the DOD pay for abortions while Hegseth is the Secretary of Defense, as if that's his decision. Here you go.
Defense policy.
Senator, I've always been personally pro-life. I know President Trump has as well, and we will review all policies. But our standard is whatever the president wants on this particular issue. With my advice, I will take a look at.
If the president tells you that this promise and policy will not be maintained, you will not enable our service members to seek reproductive care. So it sounds
I don't
like
believe
to me.
the federal government
I'm not
should be
hearing
funding
answers to my questions,
travel for
Mr.
abortion.
Chairman. I just want to note that the other area that of serious concern to me is President Trump saying that he wants to use the military to help with mass deportation.
Then we have Hirono, again, the gift that keeps on giving, asking if Hegseth will invade Greenland. And then she throws in the Panama Canal right there at the end.
Would you use our military to take over Greenland or an ally of Denmark?
Senator, one of the things that President Trump is so good at is never strategically tipping his hand. And so I would never in this public forum give one way or another direct what orders the president would give me in any context.
That sounds to me that you would contemplate carrying out such an order to basically invade Greenland and take over the Panama Canal.
But it gets better. Here's Tammy Duckworth, Democrat from Illinois, demanding to know if Hegseth has ever ran an audit in a large organization before. Now, keep in mind the Pentagon has failed its last 7 or 8 audits, but they want him to come in and make sure he runs a good, clean audit. Now, not everybody has ran an audit. You could be the CEO of a company and the best CEO ever, and you haven't ran an audit. That's what auditing firms and accountants do. But she demanded to know, and she screamed at him. Here you go. Have a look.
Have you led an audit of any organization? Yes or no? I don't want a long answer. Yes or no? Have you led an audit of any organization of which you were in charge?
Senator, in both of the organizations I ran, we were always completely fiscally responsible.
Yes or
with the
no?
money
Did
that
you
we
lead
had.
an audit?
And the way
yes
my
or
leadership
no?
has
Did you
been
lead an audit?
stated
Yes or
has
no?
been completely
What are you afraid of? You
mischaracterized.
can't answer this question. Yes or no? Did you lead an audit? Do you not know this answer?
Senator, every
Yes or
part
no?
of my leadership
Yes
of these
or no?
organizations
yes
has
or
been
no? Did you lead an audit?
misrepresented
I will
from
take
top
that as
to
a no.
bottom.
What were the findings? So there were no findings because you've never led an audit. What guidance did you give the auditors? None, because you've never led an audit. Nobody expects you to be an accountant, Mr. Hegseth. What we expect is for you to understand the complexity of this Pentagon budget process that is absolutely necessary to outfit our warfighter.
Positively unhinged. So she was just screaming and yelling at him like, hey, I don't like white males and I don't like you. I don't like Republicans. I'm going to be mad and I'm going to be mad about an audit. So I'm going to scream at you. But it gets better. The laughing stock of the whole Hegseth hearing was Senator Pocahontas Elizabeth Warren from Massachusetts. She was very concerned about Hegseth working for a civilian corporation after he leaves office. There's a prohibition on generals, or they're proposed a prohibition on generals working in the private sector for 10 years after they've left being a general. And she says, isn't that good enough for you? Have a listen.
In other words, you're quite sure that every general who serves should not go directly into the defense industry for 10 years. You're not willing to make that same pledge?
I'm not a general, Senator.
You'll be the one, let us just be clear, in charge of the
So
general.
that was pretty funny. So Hegseth, for his part, he stayed poised. He's got charisma. He's comfortable being in front of a camera. He's got the right ideas. He's been a soldier, war fighter. He has seen war, and he knows the experience on the ground. This guy is not a bureaucrat. He's not a career politician posing as a general, which makes me very optimistic that he could transform the DoD and improve its lethality and improve its recruiting, improve its budget, and many other things. But the DoD is sorely needing a transformative leader, and I think Hegseth might be it. But he sure as heck did great in this hearing, and he's going to be confirmed. So moving over, I just almost forgot one. Tim Kaine, the creepy Batman villain. This guy is worried. He did everything except ask for Hegseth's boxers or brief question, talking about sex and illegitimacy and divorces and cheating and everything. Have a listen to this creep.
Cleared. Can you so casually cheat on a second wife and cheat on the mother of a child that had been born 2 months before, and you tell us you are completely cleared? How is
Senator-
that a complete clear?
Senator, her child's name is Gwendolyn Hope Hegseth, and she's a child of God, and she's 7 years old.
And she
I'm
was,
glad
and
she's here.
you cheated on the mother of that child less than 2 months after that daughter was born, didn't you?
Those were false charges.
Well,
It
no,
was fully investigated, and I was completely clear.
This was the creepiest exchange of the week. There's no doubt about it. Kaine must have forgotten that he was the running mate of Hillary Clinton, who protected Bill Clinton, who had a monstrous amount of affairs with people in all different directions, including the Monica Lewinsky thing that nearly got him removed from office and got him impeached. Hillary Clinton worked really hard in the bimbo eruption department under Clinton, And Kane is sitting there in judgment from the political party of the Kennedys and Clintons and philanderers. There's philanderers in every party. We all know this. But good grief. I mean, have a little bit of self-awareness, Batman villain. I mean, this is ridiculous. And that took the nomination process to a new gutter low, in my opinion, with Kane. But let's move over quickly to the Pam Bondi hearing. Here's Mazie Hirono doing it again, working her magic.
As part of my responsibility to ensure the fitness of all nominees, I ask the following two initial questions. First, since you became a legal adult, have you ever made unwanted requests for sexual favors or committed any verbal or physical harassment or assault of a sexual nature?
No, Senator.
Have you ever faced discipline or entered into a settlement relating to this kind of conduct?
So Hirono asks this very attractive, successful lawyer who was the attorney general of the third largest state in the country for 8 years. I haven't heard a hint of controversy about Pam Bondi. She is just stellar by all accounts. And she asks about sexual assault and if you ever demanded sexual favors from anybody. What in the world is that? I mean, it's because she's a one-trick pony. She even went on, Hirono asked Doug Burgum, Secretary of the Interior candidate, the same question. Burgum's a billionaire, former governor, presidential candidate, very stoic, gentlemanly guy. I mean, come on. Like, why don't you ask Democrats, why don't you ask questions that people care about? How many ships you're going to build? How many planes do we need? Where are the biggest threats? You know, what do we need to improve upon? Why can't we recruit more? What should our budget be? Why don't you ask actual questions of these folks when you're up there? If you're going to be skeptical of the other party's candidates, ask them real questions. Not like, did you cheat on your wife 8 years ago? Or did you sexually assault people? You know, give me a break with this. That just shows that they're crummy, minuscule people who are just showboating for their constituents who are puny and minuscule themselves. Like, show some leadership here. And then let's talk about Alex Padilla, Democrat senator from California. Have a look at this creep.
Your job will be, your job will be to protect voters and election workers, not to undermine and dox them. Now, I know that earlier you agreed that Joe Biden is in fact president, but many of the president-elect's inner circle continue to spread the big lie about the 2020 election. Then we'll move on to a different topic.
Senator, you were speaking. May I speak? You cut me off when I was speaking. When I ask you the next question, you can speak, and I hope you answer, Ms. Bondi. Well, I'd like to answer the previous one, Senator.
When we met yesterday,
you pointed your finger at me and said you were speaking.
You did not seem to be familiar
let me answer my question.
The
I'm not going to be bullied by you,
the
Senator
14th
Padilla.
Amendment of the United States of America, which was deeply disappointing.
I guess you didn't want to hear my answer about
today
Pennsylvania.
After I gave an opportunity to study overnight. So can you tell me and this committee what the citizenship clause of the 14th Amendment says?
Senator, I'm here to answer your questions. I'm not here to do your homework and study for you. If I am confirmed as Attorney General...
You're the one asking for a confirmation vote,
you
ma'am.
cut me off. Can I please finish?
What does the 14th Amendment say?
Senator, the 14th Amendment, we all know, addresses birthright citizenship. I've been a state prosecutor. I've been a state AG. I look forward to, even given your remarks today, working with you and the people of California if I am confirmed as the 87th Attorney General of the United States of America. I didn't take your homework assignment. I'm sorry. I was preparing for...
So Padilla, as you can see here, in this video, I don't even think this guy has won an election. I think he was appointed to the Senate from California. And we heard for years from Democrats about the Republicans' war on women and women this and women that, even though millions of women support Republicans. But here's a guy talking to the former Attorney General of the state of Florida like she's a 16-year-old girl, wagging his finger and saying, I'm speaking and I gave you homework. This is unbelievable. So again, lack of self-awareness, the projecting thing coming through, like, you know, where he is really the misogynist, but Democrats call Republicans misogynist. We heard it all through the campaign and everything. But so here's some. This has been a few of the highlights from the first week of the nomination hearings, and this video could be 4 hours long with all the ridiculous things that were said. Next week, there's quite a few more hearings. Stefanik, Doug Collins, Sean Duffy, Lee Zeldin from the EPA. That's got a lot of climate change kookery coming out from the Democrats, and he's fending it off quite a bit. The Treasury Secretary had to fend off some oligarch comments from Bernie Sanders. You know, Democrats really are the party of billionaires, but now oligarchs from Bernie Sanders and Joe Biden, that's the thing. And it came up in the Treasury Secretary hearings. So this has been Lad Dilgard, and I hope you guys pay attention to the nominations a little bit because they're kind of fun to watch, and I think Trump's going to get them all in. So come and find us on YouTube, subscribe, share it with somebody, find us on X at Lad Dilgard, comment down below. I'll try to respond back as soon as I can. You guys all have a great day. Thank you.